the Bundesliga season review, with Bayern topping the pile in style once again. Emotions run high as Jurgen Klopp bids Dortmund a fond farewell. Relegation showdown, Paderborn and Freiburg take the plunge. Moments to remember. Bayern made it 3 league titles on the trot with something to spare.
Marienplatz in the heart of Munich. Victory Square for Bayern. Up on the City Hall balcony, the champions took their bow.
It's always great to celebrate on the best balcony in the world. The fans are in top form.
Bayern München, German champions for the 25th time, 24 Bundesliga titles included.
We're delighted. Every title special, and for consistency, the league's the acid test.
At the end of a season of pitfalls.
A very tough year.
Starting with a tournament hangover.
We had a lot of guys at the World Cup and many winners.
Plagued by injury.
They weren't the best of circumstances at the start of the season.
The first competitive outing ended in defeat, 2-0 at Dortmund in the Super Cup. That was one title gone, and even worse, Javi Martinez, fresh back from a long layoff, was promptly sidelined again with a cruciate ligament tear. A tough start to his second season for Pep Guardiola.
We're going to have some problems right through to the winter break.
Some good decisions were made then. We responded by bringing in Mehdi Benatia and also Xabi Alonso.
Alonso signing from Real Madrid proved a masterstroke. The veteran Spanish star instantly slotted into the role of midfield general. On matchday 6, he set a new Bundesliga record with 204 touches of the ball at Köln. A few days earlier, Bayern had stormed to the top of the table. The pre-season doom and gloom was rapidly disappearing.
A key player.
Alonso was sensational early in the season.
So were the rest of the team. They went into the winter break unbeaten and with just 4 goals conceded, a record low.
After all their success, this team's persistent hunger is really quite something.
A 4-1 thumping at Wolfsburg to start 2015 proved only a minor blip. Bayern were in rip-roaring form throughout February, with Iron Robben leading the way. The Flying Dutchman bagged 7 goals in 5 games that month as the men from Munich thrashed one opponent after another.
When you play for Bayern, you have to enjoy it and show what you can do.
By the end of matchday 30, the job was done. For the 3rd season running, Bayern had wrapped up the title with something to spare, and the hunger still wasn't sated.
Here's one I can give you right now. Our 4th straight title would be a first for the Bundesliga, and we'll be going all out for that record.
Which would mean another day of celebrations from on high in Munich.
More than a third of the top flight will play in Europe next season.
A place on the European stage next season. For 7 Bundesliga clubs, it's the reward for a long and to varying degrees successful campaign. Champs Bayern will be joined by Wolfsburg and Gladbach in the group stage of the Champions League. Leverkusen can get there again by the playoff round. For runners-up Wolfsburg, it's a second taste of Europe's top club tournament after 2009. The Wolves earned their spot over the course of an impressive season. They were the only side unbeaten at home.
I think you can be very proud, the team can be proud, and this was a perfect season.
Not least for Bas Dost, Wolfsburg's 16-goal top scorer. 4 of those came in a thrilling 5-4 win at Leverkusen on matchday 21, the joint highest-scoring game of the season, much to the hosts' regret.
That shouldn't be happening. It's a weakness in our game that we have to continue addressing.
And address it they did. Leverkusen followed up with a 10-game unbeaten run, conceding just 5 goals along the way and taking 26 of a possible 30 points.
Good run again here from Bellarabi. Good pass too for Julian Brandt, and a good shot towards goal that goes all the way to make it Leverkusen 2, Bayern Munich 0.
It's fantastic, really uplifting. The work so many players are putting in for the team.
When you've just made history, you're entitled to celebrate. Gladbach returned to Europe's top table after a 38-year absence. They got there thanks, above all, to a blistering second half of the season that included wins against Bayern, Wolfsburg and Leverkusen.
We've just got a fabulous team. When everyone does their job, we can pick up points anywhere.
Youth, pace and verve, with more than an echo of the glorious full sides of the 70s.
Good run by Patrick Hammond, too fast for Borussia Dortmund. Raphael Mönchengladbach with an excellent attack.
Gladbach are glad to be back.
Gladbach have waited a long time to make the Champions League proper. Now we've done it.
After a disappointing second half of the season, the best Schalke could manage was 6th. And after 7 months in the job, head coach Roberto Di Matteo was on his way again. Schalke have to be content with the place in the Europa League, along with local rivals Dortmund and surprise package Augsburg. The underdogs pulled off an incredible 5th place finish.
It's a sensational achievement for such a small club to make the Europa League over 34 match days.
Weinziel's team play a high-risk brand of football. They only drew 4 games all season and lost 15. But they won 15 as well. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And as a result, Augsburg can now look forward to further broadening their horizons.
Jurgen Klopp's leaving Dortmund. A look back at 7 remarkable years.
For Jurgen Klopp, it's time to say farewell. The charismatic coach took his final Bundesliga bow before the massed ranks of the Borussia support, ringing down the curtain on an unforgettable 7-year era.
To be the recipient of so much goodwill, I think it would give anybody a lift, and I'm obviously no exception. It was a wonderful experience.
Wonderful for all concerned. A demonstration of mutual admiration and a prolonged standing ovation from over 80,000 people. The team also did their bit, sealing a place in the Europa League.
I'm very happy we've managed to end the campaign in 7th. That's almost as good as it could have got after the first half of the season. I'm really proud of the way the lads turned it around.
Dortmund started the campaign by conceding the league's fastest ever goal. It got worse, a derby defeat, then there was another black day at Köln. Injuries to key players like forward star Marco Reus only served to hasten the downward spiral. Dortmund went into the winter break second bottom of the table.
We need to set a realistic target. Right now, that means getting out of 17th place and avoiding relegation. I don't mind when exactly we do it, and I'm confident we will.
The turnaround came at Freiburg, virtually in tandem with Reus penning an early contract extension. A 3-0 thumping of Schalke confirmed things were on the up. It wasn't all good news, with defeats to high flyers Bayern and Gladbach thrown in, but the real bombshell came in mid-April, when Klopp announced he'd be leaving at the season's end.
What matters now is for this club to simply have the opportunity to get back to making best use of the enormous potential that's still here, to continue developing, free from obstructions thrown up by its own past. For that to happen, one of the main men has to clear out, and in this case, it's me.
Dortmund responded by going on the offensive, above all on home turf. The spark was back, and it all culminated in a final day Europa League decider against Bremen. Goals from Kagawa, Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan sealed a 3-2 win, and with it an unparalleled half-season ascent from last place to 7th.
It was a final in itself. That's where the run of the season brought us, with everything to play for against a direct rival at the finish. That's when you need to step up, and today we did.
7 years winning hearts and minds as well as trophies in Dortmund. Now Jurgen Klopp is striking out for pastures new.
Records are made to be broken. Here's who raised the bar this season.
Amazing feats by out-of-the-ordinary characters. It's part of football's eternal attraction. Scenes that live on in the memory, taking their place in the Bundesliga record books. This season has had its share of them. Karim Bellarabi got the ball rolling 9 seconds into Leverkusen's opening game at Dortmund, with the fastest goal ever scored in the top flight.
Leverkusen coming out strong right at the start. Bellarabi's made it 1-0. Oh, that must be the fastest goal ever.
I just heard about it. I'm delighted. I'll take that one for sure.
Nobody was directly involved in more goals this season than Kevin De Bruyne. The Belgian midfielder laid on no fewer than 20 for his Wolfsburg teammates. De Bruyne bagged a further 10 himself and played a direct part in over 40% of all the Wolves' goals.
He's been our outstanding player this year, and he does it all for the team. No airs and graces. That's the greatest accolade of all.
2 seasons in the Bundesliga and 2 titles. That's 1 record already for Pep Guardiola. On matchday 27, he notched another. The 1-0 win at Dortmund was Guardiola's 50th in only his 61st top-flight game. No other coach has hit the half-century as quickly.
German football can count itself lucky to have Pep Guardiola in its ranks. Probably the most coveted coach in the business, and his ideas are just incredible.
Arjen Robben served up a variation on the same theme on matchday 24. At Hanover, Bayern's Flying Dutchman recorded his 100th Bundesliga victory in his 126th game. Another record. Robben bagged 17 goals in just 21 games in an injury-plagued campaign.
Arjen Robben's probably the best player in the world right now. He's unstoppable and scoring goals left, right and centre. We're just delighted he's playing for Bayern.
And finally, there was more at Stoppelkamp, and that goal against Hanover.
It's Stoppelkamp. Oh, he's gone for it! Will he go in? Yes! Unbelievable scenes in Paderborn!
Stoppelkamp's 90-yard effort, one for the record books. Some consolation perhaps in a campaign that ended in relegation. And just one of this season's Bundesliga records.
Paderborn and Freiburg are down. Hamburg must negotiate the playoffs.
Raw emotion. All that nervous energy released in an abrupt tidal wave. A season's worth of pent-up tension transformed for some into sheer joy. While for others, the last hope turns to dust. It's the moment of truth. The moment for mournful heroes to digest their fate. Just as others bask in the glory or simple relief that comes with escaping relegation at the very last. Daniel Ginczek was one of the happy ones away at Paderborn. Several chances went begging, but in the 72nd minute, he scored the one that mattered.
Ginczek! How important will that goal be?
7 goals from Ginczek in the last 9 games were pivotal to Stuttgart's late escape act.
I said when I arrived last summer that I'd like to pay back the club's faith in me. It's just incredible to have done that, in part, with such an important goal.
Ginczek's no one-man band up front. The entire Stuttgart forward line showed they were fit for Bundesliga purpose over the closing weeks of the campaign, as did the club's loyal fans.
All the pressure has just melted away. It's like winning the title.
He could have been Freiburg's saviour. Nils Pedersen scored 5 goals in the last 5 games, including the winner against Bayern. All to no avail. because Hanover beat them at the finish. After 16 games without a win, back-to-back victories on the final match days ensured a happy end for the 96ers. And new coach Michael Franzek.
I can't really comprehend how it must feel to be relegated. I feel sorry for Freiburg. Unfortunately, one of us came up short today, and obviously I'm very glad it wasn't us.
The Bundesliga clock ticks on for Hamburg, but only just. Man of the hour against Schalke was the evergreen Ivica Olic.
He's an absolute workhorse. Playing up front isn't easy in our situation. I think that goal will do him a power of good.
For the second year running, Hamburg have scraped into the playoff. In Bruno Labbadia, they finally seem to have found the right man for the job. But a job in which division?
The last few games have restored our confidence. We've actually done the impossible and left ourselves in with a chance. Now we're going to seize it, whatever it takes.
Hamburg are up against Karlsruhe in the playoff. For Bruno Labbadia, it's a trip down memory lane. In 2003, in his last game as a player, aged 37, he scored one of the goals that stopped Karlsruhe dropping into the third flight. 12 years down the line, the Hamburg coach is now tasked with preventing his former club from moving in the opposite direction.
Bundesliga.com users have chosen their team of the season.
The best of the best over a long and thrilling campaign, chosen by the users of Bundesliga.com.
Xabi Alonso puts it past the wall. They can allow themselves a smile.
The 2014-15 Bundesliga Team of the Season. In goal, Manuel Neuer, the man who redefined the keeper's role. First line of attack and shot stopper supreme.
Werner looks to be through. Oh no! Neuer's come out. He can play in goal or out of goal, that man.
Neuer isn't neglecting the basic tools of his trade either. No other keeper prevailed in so many one-on-one situations this season.
Looking good for Gladbach. Andre Hahn. Oh, Manuel Neuer. Fantastic save from the world's #1 keeper.
In defence, 3 Wolves and 1 Bayern star. At left-back, Wolfsburg's power shooter Ricardo Rodriguez. Alongside him, Bayern's World Cup winning centre-back Jerome Boateng. And on the other flank, raiding right-back Virinha. A third Wolf in the defensive pack, Naldo. A 10-year Bundesliga veteran with more goals to his name over that period than any other central defender.
Some air underneath it. Naldo's there. Naldo scores. One of the most dangerous defenders in the Bundesliga.
Bayern have a grip on deep midfield. All-round super talent David Alaba, top class already, and with the potential to get even better. And ball magnet Xabi Alonso. The veteran Spanish star is the fulcrum of the Bayern midfield, and he also knows how to find the net. Further up the park, Marco Reus. In an injury-plagued season, the Dortmund ace still did enough to earn his place in the top 11.
Campbell slots it to Reus. Oh, so cool, so calm, so collected, Marco Reus.
The player with an incredible 20 assists to his name and a whole other bag of tricks, all accomplished with natural ease. Arjen Robben in the form of his life. There was no World Cup hangover for the Flying Dutchman, just great play and goals in his classic style, with his head and even his right peg. At 31, Robben looks better than ever. Last but not least, Robert Lewandowski, the complete centre-forward. He can score from any angle, and one goal's more spectacular than the other.
Muller. Lewandowski. Oh, and a missile into the back of the net. Robert Lewandowski.
Big names, huge talents, in the league of the world champions. The best of the best, and the team of the 2014-15 Bundesliga season.
Stories big, small and offbeat. The season's special moments.
Emotional, surprising and downright bizarre. Amidst all the pulsating action, the Bundesliga has 1,000 human tales to tell. Those special moments that transcend football and reach out into the wider society. Moments that leave a truly lasting impression. A superhero for a special cause, Enis Ben Hatira. The Hertha Berlin star got masked up after scoring against Schalke as a special tribute to a young fan. Ben Hatira struck up a friendship with 8-year-old Yannick after visiting him in hospital, where he was being treated for leukemia. A big-hearted Bundesliga moment. A sympathetic pat for Christoph Kramer after the Mönchengladbach midfielder netted the own goal of the season at Dortmund. In fact, it could well go down as the most delicately struck Bundesliga own goal of all time. Although that won't have been much of a consolation for inadvertent match winner Kramer. Being a team mascot should come with its own danger money, if you're Brian the Lion at any rate. Leverkusen's cuddly when a World Cup winner's heading towards you at full pelt, it's best to get out the way. Otherwise, like these match photographers, you might be simply bowled over. Freiburg head coach Christian Streich had a slip-up of his own, with the emergency evasive action also going a bit awry, but no serious damage done. Marvin Hitz, goalkeeper and goal scorer. His last gasp leveller for Augsburg against Leverkusen was the first Bundesliga goal from a keeper in open play that didn't directly follow a set piece. One well worth celebrating with the family. A moving moment at Paderborn, when Mario Franjic struck a superb volley against Bremen. The players dedicated the goal to absent teammate Florian Hardherz, whose father had passed away suddenly. The league came together to pay tribute to Junior Melander as the second half of the season got underway. Not with a minute of silence, but with applause, befitting the character of the popular Wolfsburg player who tragically died in a road accident. Without a doubt, this was the season's most emotionally charged moment.
34 match days, 306 games. Here's what it all added up to. It's no great surprise to see Bayern up top at the finish, but behind them it's a different story. Wolfsburg are a new powerhouse with a revitalised Mönchengladbach in third, sitting sensationally in fifth. Augsburg, who've booked their first ever ticket to Europe. Schalke and Dortmund will join them there. Mid-table Frankfurt are looking for a new coach after Thomas Schaaf's decision to step down. At the bottom end, Hanover have secured another term in the top flight, as have Stuttgart, where Alexander Zorniger is taking over as coach. Hamburg have a playoff date with Karlsruhe, while Paderborn and Freiburg are relegated. Next season, the Bundesliga will be welcoming newcomers Ingolstadt and surprise package Darmstadt, who've marched straight through from the third division. All that remains is for us to pay tribute to the league's top sharpshooters. Congratulations, Alexander Meyer. Frankfurt's evergreen frontman is this season's winner of the coveted top scorers cannon. In an injury-shortened campaign, he scored the last of his 19 goals way back on matchday 25, another first for the Bundesliga annals. Needless to say, Meyer had plenty of company in the spectacular scoring stakes.
Was one for the family album. Oh, it's a beauty! How often do we see something that works like that?
Oh, what a goal! That is incredible!
There's Balarabe! Beautiful goal! Concentration, technical ability.
Ah, it's at the back of the net!
Oh, it's a brilliant shot! Oh, one of the goals of the season, surely! Brilliant goal by Stocker.
Oh, and he goes in with a wonderful effort.
Bobadilla. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's delightful.
That's that from the League of the World Champions for this campaign. We'll see you again in August for the start of another thrilling Bundesliga season.